Hi guys, thank you for watching my YouTube channel Happy Visas. My name is Philip Port. Today I'm going to be speaking about an old video that I did a few months ago comparing the price between Moscow and London. So I'm going to be answering your questions. The most popular question that people referred to was, well, salaries are so much higher in the UK. Yes, that is true, but remember who pays the bulk of the taxes. In the UK, it falls on me as the employee to pay the taxes. My bosses, my employer, will pay a small amount. I will pay the bulk of them. Admittedly, the first £12,500 is tax-free, but I'm still going to lose on average about 30% of my salary. So if you have an income of £31,000 a year, 3.1 million, it's going to bring it down to about 2.4, 2.5 million. That's what I'm going to be left with, probably 2.4 million. Now, so I don't have much to live on when, let's for example, you compare petrol prices, which have just hit a record high in the UK. 60 rubles for a litre of petrol in Russia, benzene, £1.50, 150 rubles in the UK. Add another 10 rubles or another 10 pence for diesel. So you can see that it's ridiculously expensive. Childcare was another common question. In Russia, my son gets full-time childcare up until the age of 7. So I take him to nursery every day, and it's free. The cheapest nursery in England is probably about £300 a week. Average price probably £350 a week. That's 30 to 35,000 rubles per week that a family have to find if they have children under 5 years old. Now, admittedly, you do get £26 a week from the government, which is about 2,600 rubles child benefit, but it doesn't go very, very far. Another common question was using the trains. Now, yes, the trains are pretty fast in England, probably average speed 160 kilometres an hour. You can get from London to Manchester in about 2 hours. But that trip will probably cost me £60 to £70 one way, whereas the same trip would probably cost me £5 or £6 in Russia, about 500-600 rubles. So I'd rather spend that extra hour and a half on the train and save that £50, because if you take your husband, wife and 2 children, you can easily spend on a round trip 50,000 rubles for a 2-hour train journey. Trains are ridiculously expensive. That was another common question. You know, so childcare, transportation, salaries being higher, these were what people spoke about. But I'm just going to remind you that Britain is very unforgiving. In other words, if you lose your job, if you fall sick, your savings are going to be gone very, very quickly. If I fall sick in Russia, all I've got to find is about £50, maybe £55 a month, 5,500 rubles to pay all my bills. Add another 1,000 on that for internet and my mobile phone. So I'm looking at 6,500, 7,000. In England, you're looking at a minimum 70,000 rubles a month. Electricity, £120 a month. That's 12,000 rubles. Cold water, we've got to pay for that. Your council tax, your property taxes. You know, all these soon add up. Just to have a TV, even if I don't use that television, even if that TV is broken, that is about £170 a year, about 17,000 rubles, just to have a broken TV. So I calculated, if I have a salary of £31,000 a year, my wife doesn't work, after I pay all the bills, after I pay all the living expenses, the transportation or the metro card, if I have to catch the metro, I'm probably left for food and to clothe my family, I'm probably left with about 500,000 to 600,000 rubles per year. That's about £5,000 to £6,000. So it's all apples and pears, or apples and oranges, whatever you want to call it, is I was talking in my video about disposable income. Russians have a huge disposable income because their expenses are so low, your transportation is so low, your metro and your trains are so low, the tramways, the buses. Everybody's in shock in Perm that the bus fare just went up from 24 pence, 24 rubles, to 33 pence, to 33 rubles. The same trip is probably about £3 in England. Probably a one-way ticket on a bus. And everybody's now very, very upset. They don't understand that that is so affordable in Russia. Another thing that was brought up, the cost of a restaurant, dining out, divide it by half. I would go out for a meal in London with my better half for about £80. Maybe a couple of glasses of wine included. That would be an average restaurant. In Perm, I can go out to a top restaurant, have a couple of glasses of wine, and I'm only going to spend about 4,000 rubles. That's about £40. In Moscow, maybe about £45, £50. But remember, we have like coupons like Big Leon, Groupon, where 30% of the restaurants on these coupon websites are really good restaurants. And I spend about 80 pence, about 80 rubles, and I buy a coupon, and me and my girlfriend, we get a 50% discount on the food. So there's always little tricks about how to wine and dine in Moscow on the cheap. So I reckon I've got my dining out with a few beers or a glass of wine. I think I've got it down to about £22, £23, about 2,200, 2,300 rubles. So actually eating out in Moscow is actually much cheaper than Perm because they don't have the coupons here that you can use. Another little trick is in Moscow, as I've mentioned before, they have these beautiful markets. Go to the markets. You'll see the best fruit and vegetables. You can taste the vitamins. I would say they're about the same price as of England, about the same price as England, but it's much more organic fruit and vegetables. It's all brought in from Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, from central Russia, where they grow a lot of crops, beautiful land they're developing to grow crops. So your food bill is probably about 30–40% cheaper in Russia, and if you go organic, it's probably about the same price. So I hope that gave you an overview. I hope I answered the questions, the most popular questions from my last video. If you did like this video, please press the like button, please subscribe, and I do apologize about my sore throat. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.